Hi, this is a introduction on how to install our grip for Leica film cameras. Out of all our design for our grips, the film camera one is the most complicated one, and sometimes I found the customer don't really know how to install it. So this video explains that. In our grip, when you received it, it looks like this. There will be a piece here. This you might not need it. Well, the one that comes with the grip is shorter. Okay, not exactly like this, but similar. This is for some M3, some model of M3 that doesn't have the quarter-inch screw. Okay, there are versions of M3 that has a different screw type. So this is an adapter that we give you in case you have that kind of M3s. So we might not need this. So also when you see the grip, when it's new, there's a bean shape form here, which is thicker. Now this one has been used, that's why it's been pressed down. The usage of this I will explain it later. And it comes with the big screw and the most complicated part here. So this is the way how we install the grip. First of all, if you look at it, this knob here only turns 180 degrees in one direction. Let me show you this way. In one direction, 180 degrees. It cannot go over 180 degrees. This is to match with your knob here, which also goes to 180 degrees. So when you install it, make sure they are aligned it. Now this is a foolproof mechanism here. If you look at it, you will see there's a little protrusion here, which will fit into. There's a little protrusion here, which will fit into here. So in case if you somehow play with it, you turned it, and when you installed it without putting it in the correct direction, there will be a bump. There will be a bump here. So after you installed it, it will not sit flat. That's one reason that it doesn't sit flat. And also, if you install it this way, you won't be able to turn your knob. You won't be able to do that. This is foolproof mechanism here. So this is how you install it. You turn this up, okay? You push this out, split it into two, and if you look at the form here, it actually matches to this in one direction. Okay, in one direction. If you install it wrongly, you won't be able to put it in. Okay, see this one, you can put it in because it's a different form. So this is supposed to install it this way, like that. When the knob is at the front, that means now you have to install it this way because the protrusion is here. So this is wrong. So what you have to do is you either turn this one to the correct position to install it. Now after you install it, push it, it should sit flat. Now I mentioned about there's a little protrusion here. Now this is a foam that is thicker when it's new. What it does is it counters the tilt. Now if you look at Leica original grip, the grip will not make it to full length. They will not make it to full length. The reason is for all Leica M cameras, the screw is on one side, okay, and they are formed here. If you push it down, it will naturally tilt up the other end. It will. It's just a fact. So that's why some grips you have seen before, they only make it shorter. They only can make it shorter, and then they have a protrusion edge up here, all the way extended up here, so that even there's a slight tilt, you won't be able to notice it. Now, first of all, why we designed in this way is we don't want to see those protrusion up here. What this mechanism does is to limit it from rotation. Now this is how we installed it. Now let me briefly go through this. Okay, let me briefly go through this. Install it here. Okay, when it's new, there'll be a tilt here because there's a foam here, and then you press it down. Now when you install the screw, when it's new, especially when the foam is still have more tension, okay, you tighten it, but not too tight. You don't have to be tight. Why? Because this portion here limit the grip from turning. It will cancel all the torque that loosens the grip. It was designed so that if you just slightly tighten it like this way, it won't come off because it doesn't turn. Okay, this is the way that you're supposed to install the grip. Well, sometimes, okay, we come into situation. There are a customer that has different grip before, and they're really used to really screw in. That can actually deform the base plate here. So the base plate can be slightly deformed. So when you really screw it in, it will tilt the grip up. Now how to solve that? Okay, this is where the counter the beam shape here. Well, for some used camera, which has already deformed it, this won't be enough. This sometimes won't be enough to flatten it, to counter the tilt. So either you check whether your plate has been deformed a bit, because this is totally flat. If this is not flat, then yes, it might tilt a little bit. Now in order to counter that, you can either make this thicker or use a harder material here. Now actually we thought about using hard rubber here, but we choose not to do that because we know the customer, they're used to really tighten things up. We don't want to destroy your base plate. That's why we make it a thick form. So there are cases if you there's a slight tilt, you can add a little thickness here, okay, just to counter it. Now this is not the how do I put this? It doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen to some camera when the plate is already deformed a little. So yeah, this is how it's supposed to be installed here. Let me see. Now see, if I retightens it, well, mine is okay. Mine doesn't. Mine bottom plate is pretty flat, so it's okay. So this is how it goes. So also, when you can see this dot here, when they are aligned, that means the canister is locked at the locking position. Okay, you should be able to turn this. If you can't be able to turn this, that means there's something wrong in this installation. Thanks.